Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get things kicked off. Again, we are recording there, as you know, and I hope everybody's ready for an exciting Tuesday. Another new training Tuesday for us here at One Source. So, what are we going to get in today? Today, we're going to do something, well, a little bit different. Not completely, but a unique spin, if nothing else. But today, I want to talk about, well, just being happy. The topic of, but not just being happy while you enjoy the process. And let me elaborate what I mean by that. You all probably have heard me talk about this previously, my idea of what it is to be happy. And to me, well, there's a big difference between being happy versus enjoyment. Both of them are fantastic. Both are very positive experiences, emotional states. But in my opinion, they're very different. Um, for me, well, this is my definition of being happy. My definition of being happy is I have to be satisfied. I have to be content. In other words, I have to be making progress with where I'm going. That has everything to do with happiness with me. It's a little bit different than enjoyment. Enjoyment, again, I enjoy eating a good meal. I enjoy certain activities, watching something on Netflix. I enjoy eating the wrong food sometimes, as we've talked about before. But I'm not always happy afterwards when it's done that I did it. So again, there is a difference, in my opinion, of happiness and enjoyment. But what I want to do is I want to take a closer look today. What's your definition of happiness? What has to really happen in order for you to experience the emotion of happiness? I'm always, well, I shouldn't say surprised, but a little bit put back, I should say, probably be a better way to phrase it. When I ask somebody what has to happen for them before they're happy, and they really don't know, they never really took the time to think about it. So when you're working with clients, don't be surprised if the topic comes up and you start to explore and you're asking them, well, what would have to happen in order for you to be happy? And they have no idea. Everybody says, oh, I want to be happy. But when you press them a little bit, when you ask them what needs to happen before you experience the emotion of happiness, you might be a little bit surprised at how often people really, really don't know. And no disrespect to anybody. It's just, for whatever reason, they just never really took the time to think about it. As you know, I'm pretty passionate about personal development. It's something I think about a lot, and maybe I maybe I think about it too much. I don't know, but I'm more interested. What is your definition of the word happiness? In other words, what has to happen in order for you personally? We've already talked about me. You know me, I have to be satisfied. I have to be content. I have to feel as if I'm moving forward, as if I'm making some progress before I can go ahead and really feel happy. But take a minute. Take a minute now. I'm going to give you exactly 1 minute. I'm going to time it here. But just write down some words. What has to happen for you to experience, again, that emotion of happiness? Just write down a couple keywords. Doesn't have to be anything. Or even just think about it in your own head if you're not in a position to write something down. but what really just needs to happen? So at the end of the day, when you're reflecting, how do you make the determination? Am I happy with how I conducted myself today? So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And again, I have to assume, and maybe and I shouldn't assume. I apologize. I really probably shouldn't do that. It's a fault of mine. But I do assume that at this stage, you probably most likely have a good idea after being involved with us as long as you have what has to really happen in order for you to again feel, experience that emotion of happiness. But what we want to do today is we want to start taking a look at the activities we're doing. And we all know about the pain pleasure principle. We're not going to focus so much on the pain today. What I want to do is I want to take a deeper look to see those activities that we're doing. What can we do to maybe make them a little bit more enjoyable, or in other words, pleasurable? Because again, happiness and enjoyment, even though in my definition, they're two totally different things, but when you can do the two together, that's powerful. When you can be happy and enjoy the process, that's powerful. That's how you're going to really link things up and how you're going to create those positive emotional states that are going to become strong habits, powerful routines that you're going to look forward to doing. But we just want to make sure again that we're linking up some pleasure, as much pleasure as possible, to your daily activities, because we all know those daily activities, well, sometimes they can be a chore. And sometimes, well, we're pushing ourselves, and that's okay, because when you're done doing them, well, your chances are you're happy that you completed it. But wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be amazing if we could be in a position where, well, we go ahead and we not only achieve the emotion of happiness because we're satisfied, content after achieving the result, but we really enjoyed the process? So, what I want to do today again is I want to focus more on the pleasure rather than the pain aspect of the pain pleasure principle, specifically around those activities that we're doing, those tasks that we're doing in all, in our health and fitness and our growth and our finances, and even the things that we're doing in those relationships. What can we add to it? Is there something special that we can add to it? Some little ingredient, some little thing that's going to make maybe a task that isn't always so pleasurable more pleasurable. That we, even if we have to combine some things. So that's why I said be prepared to take some notes. And what we want to do is when I want you to take some notes, but I want you to be ready to go ahead and take a look at your activities as well. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 3 minutes per key area. And I'll go ahead and I'll lead you along to a degree. It's not a goal setting workshop. Don't make the mistake of thinking this is about setting goals. It can be, but this is more looking at the things that you're doing, those daily activities, and just taking a moment to think about it. Is there something that I could add to this activity that would make it more enjoyable? That I could still produce the result, I could still be happy with the result that I'm producing, but I could really enjoy the process along the way. That's what we want to do here. That's the objective, so to speak. So we're gonna kick things off, And we're going to take a look at the area of your relationships. Okay, so you should all have four minimum, maybe more. You might have added some to it by this stage, but you should have four key or subcategories, four individuals, four groups, or four individuals within your relationships that each and every day you're directing your focus to. But is there something that you could add to those specific relationships that would make them more enjoyable? That you'd still produce the result, moving you in the direction that you want to, ultimately create those loving, lasting, meaningful relationships that ultimately it's your objective, your goal, your vision that you want to create. But what can you be adding to it? So start just taking a look at those things and go one by one and start with yourself. And I'm gonna hit the clock here. We're gonna take about 3 minutes here, guys, because I want you to go through each one of them. But just start thinking about yourself. Is there something you can do for yourself each and every day that would help you to enjoy it more, enjoy the process of creating that special relationship, that respectful, loving relationship with yourself? Maybe you're already doing it, but is there something you could add? And what about the second subcategory? So hopefully maybe you've come up with something. If you didn't, maybe it'll hit you tonight when you're in bed. But what about with your partner, significant other, spouse? Is there something you could do? Something you can add? Something simple. Could you add like a date night? I don't know. Um, just a suggestion, but is it something maybe you're already doing it? But is there something you could add to that relationship that's just going to make it a little bit more unique, more special, more enjoyable? So you can achieve the results, you can be happy with the direction your relationship is going, and hopefully be enjoying the process along the way. But how often do you take the time to really think about it? Chances are you don't. But really take some time there and just think about it. What could you add to the relationship with your partner, your spouse, significant other, as they say? And what about, I don't know, the third one? If whoever it is, I'm just going to throw some things out there. If they don't apply, that's okay. But is it your friends? Is it your family? But what can you do to direct the focus to those, but make the experience more enjoyable? Is there an activity? Are you having family dinners, for an example? Would it be nice to sit down every night, even once or twice a week, and really enjoy a meal with your family? Maybe that's something you can add into the routine. Or with your friends. Would you maybe have more dinner parties? Would that be something where you can go ahead and you can have the experience of spending time with people you really care about that mean something to you and enjoy the process more? But again, it's just trying to add those little things. Those little things make a world of difference. Make a world of difference long term to those relationships that you're trying to build. So if you don't have anything now, it's like try to go ahead and if you whatever you can add now, but work on it more when we're done. Or even a game night, maybe with your friends once a week you get together for a game night, or even once, twice a month. But if you start up the habit of doing it, well, maybe they're going to do it. Maybe they're going to come up with some creative ways. But again, just a way that instead of doing the same old things over and over and over again, try to spice it up a little bit. Try to add something to the mix. So let's take another 3 minutes now. And let's go on to the next area. Let's take a look at that area of your health and your fitness. But what are you doing right now in that area of your health and fitness? You know the activities. You're probably drinking water, you're probably exercising, you're probably watching your diet or whatever the case may be. But what can you add to the experience to make it a little bit more enjoyable? You know, just is there some activity that you enjoy that maybe you haven't done in a long time that you'd get some pleasure from? It would be enjoyable. Maybe get the bike out of the shed. Do you like going for bike rides? I don't know. Maybe that's not your thing. But it's like I tell you what, I've got I've got two bikes in my shed, and I don't ride it as much as I should. But you know what? I really enjoy it when I do. So I should start practicing what I preach. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a note of it right now to go ahead and make sure that I get the bike out and get it all pumped up and ready to go because the weather's been really lovely here. But what else can you do? What can you do to get some exercise while enjoying the process? You know, maybe take a time to prepare your meals, but cook the foods that are healthy that you really enjoy, but maybe really enjoy the whole process of preparing the meal. Maybe you enjoy cooking, but because you're always under pressure, you just don't have the time you feel. But would it be nice to kind of get back in that habit? Would it help to be more, enjoy the process of being healthy because you enjoy cooking? Just to take the time, schedule it in. Is that something you enjoy? Or really thinking crazy here, if you don't know how to cook, would you enjoy taking a cooking class and learning how, or learning on YouTube or learning online? You can combine your personal growth and your health and do something and enjoy the process. You're becoming more healthy, you're learning, you're growing, and you're happy with the result while you're enjoying the process. Or what about just getting outside in the fresh air and going for walks? Is that something you enjoy? I know it's something that I really enjoy. But even if you can combine it, again, whenever you can combine things, that's a win-win. We can make it enjoyable, combine it with one of the other areas, like maybe your relationships. Like if you and your partner were to get in the habits of going for evening walks, you get to spend time together. You go ahead, you get to enjoy each other's company, enjoy going outside for the long walk in fresh air as you get healthy. That's a win-win-win situation. Or when you work out, what do you do when you work out? Are you listening to music? I often, I like to listen to podcast, and but I often forget how much I enjoy music. And it's great to go out to the gym and start doing a workout and put some good music on. But are you doing it? Is that something you could add into your routine, even if it's just, you don't have to be doing a heavy workout. It could be a light workout. But listening to music, does that make it more enjoyable? But is that something you can add? But look at those routines, look at those activities that you're doing every single day there. What can you add? I know there's some things you could add. You might not be able to add something to every single action item, but I'm pretty confident I'm pretty confident you can go ahead and you can find enough things that you can add one or two in each one of those key areas. So we'll wrap it up there for the moment with your health and fitness. But hopefully you found some things that you could add in there. And again, take the time to really think about what are the things you enjoy. Look at that definition of the word happiness. What does it mean? That's the result. But what would make it more enjoyable achieving that result? What could you be doing in the area of your relationships, in the area of your health? But let's take a look now again at your personal growth. Let's take another few minutes now. And what are you doing in the area of your personal growth? What are the actions that what areas are you trying to grow in? But what could you add? What could you add to those activities that you're doing right now? Or what new activities could you add that you would just really enjoy? Because this is an area, I tell you, sometimes it's great to grow, but you don't always have to be pushing yourself. You can enjoy it, guys. You can be doing some things, you're learning and you're growing, but you're enjoying it. You know, it doesn't have to always be about achieving. You can achieve and grow and enjoy all at the same time. But what about, have you ever thought about maybe doing something like writing a book? Like, I know it's something that we've talked about, but would you enjoy just taking the time to write a book? Is it something that's been on your in your mind for a long time? Or a screenplay? Or a song? Or poetry? But is there something that's inside of you that you would just really enjoy doing, but you would grow in the process? You'd be happy with the result because you're growing. At the same time, you're really enjoying the process. Or what about just starting to write a blog? Is there some topic, and I've talked to all of you almost individually, and I know you all have interests. You all have a lot of outside interests outside the family and work, things that really kind of resonate with you. And don't think about it, as from a money aspect. This isn't about the money aspect. Is there something that you could be doing, that you could be taking the time to maybe even a video blog or a YouTube channel or something that you can be doing that will be helping you to achieve that growth, that level of next level of learning, improving your skills, becoming more, growing, but enjoying it. Again, I know there's something in you, and that you wanted to do for a long time. But is that something you can add? This is the area of your personal growth, guys. I hope you're adding lots of variety to this. It's really critical. This isn't like, we all have a need for certainty. We've talked about the 6 basic human needs, but you also have that need for uncertainty or variety, as it's referred to. But are you fulfilling that? Are you enjoying the process? What about a podcast? Have you ever thought about starting a podcast? You could talk about a topic that you're very passionate about. You talk about personal development. You could talk about whatever your interests are. Doesn't make a difference. But again, is there something out there that you would like, that you have a big interest in, that you would like to actually, just for fun, enjoyment, start a weekly podcast? see where it goes. But again, that's the area of your personal growth. But we've covered the three, but I just want to take a moment just to kind of think this through here now. I'm hoping that you guys are really, really taking the time to take this seriously, and you're not just kind of listening to me and doing things in the background. Not that you would ever do that, but that you're really taking the time to look at those things, because this is the time, guys. We're coming up to the end of June here. You've all been doing the system for quite a while now. You should be seeing those results. But if you can start to really just link up that pleasure to the activities, that's when it's really gonna, it's not even gonna be a struggle to do these things anymore. That's when things will start to change, will start to really lock in and become automatic. So let's take a look at the final area now. Let me reset my clock here. And let's take another 3 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe four, to take a look again at that final area, your finances. But your finances, as you guys know, that's a critical one because it fuels all the other areas. And often you don't really enjoy it. You don't enjoy doing the work. But your career, for an example, are you really enjoying your career, what you're doing for a living right now? I'm not saying to quit the job, but I'm saying, is there something you could be doing to make it a more pleasurable, more enjoyable experience each and every day? We all got to work. We all got to produce, money, income. But is there something you could be doing to make it a more enjoyable process? Take the time to really think about it, guys. You're spending 8 to 10 hours a day probably at your job. Are you enjoying that process? Is there something else that you could be doing as on the side to try to generate some money that you would enjoy doing? You can do it as just a part-time basis. Like, do you want to create a Udemy course? Do you want to start a Skillshare course that you could maybe do something that you're passionate about and you really enjoy? Just even get it more involved with what we're doing here. Are you enjoying what you're doing here? Would you like to take it to the next level? Could you be putting more effort in to try to generate more of an income from one source? Is there some side hustle that you can do? Like I've shared with you guys, and it's very unique, I know, and I wouldn't ever suggest anyone to try to do what I do. I just happens to be something I have an interest in. But I love scrapping old IT equipment and old any type of thing with precious metals in it. Something for some reason I just find extremely enjoyable. There's nothing that I enjoy more than going out to my shed, putting on a good podcast, putting on some music, putting on an audiobook, and tearing into some old either switch or server or some laptops or whatever the case may be. Anything that I can get my hands on, I can just rip apart. Um, and if there's anything in there of any value that I can go ahead. It's a side business for me. It's a hustle, but I do it because I enjoy it. So again, that's a perfect example. That's my side hustle. I enjoy it. I would do it for free. I do it for fun. But I go ahead and I make an income, side income from doing it. It helps with my finances. But what could you do? What do you really enjoy doing that you've thought about doing before that can generate an income for you that you could do that would really help you tremendously in the area of your finances? I know there's something. Can you sell stuff on eBay? Can you sell stuff on Amazon? There's got to be something that you can be doing. Do you really love kids? Could you, start maybe babysitting just to make a little bit of money? I know it sounds like, something maybe you do when you're very young, but maybe your kids are grown now and maybe you enjoy having some children around. I don't know. I'm just giving out some ideas, but there's got to be something. Do you enjoy working with your hands? Is there something you could build? And even if it's something on a small scale that you can sell and make a little bit of money on, but it's a good hobby. It's a side hustle, something you're doing because you're enjoying the process. Can you bake? Is there something you can do as a side hustle, again, that you can earn some money from while enjoy the process? But what about something like, what can you do to save money that you can reduce your overheads? Because that's about managing your finances as well. It's not always about just making money, but what can you do to go ahead and be trying to reduce your overheads, your expenditures, and enjoy the process? Your employer, do they have a bike to work scheme? Do you enjoy cycling? Would it say, are you within distance of your employment that you can start up to, get involved with the bike to work scheme? Again, it's just a suggestion. I know it's not for everybody, but that would be something very creative. You save fuel, you save your overheads as far as wear and tear on your automobile, you save money, and you get exercise too. You get fresh air, and you enjoy the process. But if it's not that, what is it? There has to be something, one or two things in that area of your finances that you can add, something that you can add to it, to the daily activities, the daily routines that you would really enjoy doing, that would make it more pleasurable, more enjoyable. Um, so hopefully you found some things there, and hopefully you'll continue with this exercise, because again, I know we just took a little bit of time here, but I just want to kind of start giving you some food for thought, because it really truly is important, guys. It's really important that you enjoy the process. You always want to produce the results, you always want to be happy, but you also want to enjoy the process. When you can combine the two of those, you'll become unstoppable. That much I guarantee you. I try to always set the objective. I even worked it in recently to my definite major purpose, where part of my daily objective is just to be happy and enjoy the process. It's such an easy thing to remember, but you have to get in it a little bit deeper. That's why I asked you at the very beginning, what has to happen in order for you to be happy? I hope you can identify it now. And I would really look forward to the day that we can meet up and you can share with me and you can tell me, just just in a conversation, what are the things that make you happy? What has to really happen for you? I've shared with you, and I'm always happy to do so. But feel free to share with me, and I look forward to the day that we will meet up. And hopefully, now that this lockdown is actually finally, thank God, beginning to lift up, hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. I do plan on making. I used to do a good bit of traveling, and now that things are freeing up, probably won't be within. It might not be even this year, but definitely next year. I can guarantee you, I'll be making a good few trips over to the UK and throughout the EU as well, and even over to the States. So, that is something I do miss. that's something that I can add to the areas of my work that I really enjoy, and it'll help me achieve the results. It'll also help me achieve the results in my relationships as well. That's a really good example. But hopefully, I'll be meeting you guys soon enough, within the next 3 to 6 months anyway. Um, but I want to talk about this Saturday, the goal setting workshop. In case anybody hasn't heard, and you should have all heard about it by now, we're doing another free seminar this Saturday, Saturday the 26th. Feel free to invite to whoever you like. I won't be promoting it. So again, it's only going to be from whoever you guys invite or the few odds. But again, the reason that I'm doing these, it's really important that everybody understands. I'm doing these to give you the experience so you can see as you're developing your business. Because again, at the end of the day, that's what this is, guys. One source is, the personal development network is your business. You're all self-employed. You're all involved. Yes, you're involved for your own personal growth. Yes, you're involved because you enjoy working with people and seeing them create that lasting change. But hopefully you're involved because you want to earn an income as well. Workshops are a great opportunity to leverage your time. So just so everybody understands, the reason we're doing these, and I do apologize about doing two in this month because I know it's 2 Saturdays, but there's a reason. I'll explain to you in a moment. But the workshops are a great chance for you to leverage your time. It's a great opportunity for you to learn what's involved in conducting a workshop. But so again, you can either team up with somebody, you can either team up with me, you can team up with somebody else, or you can do your own. Because when you're a joint venture partner, like I say, the opportunities open up. You can go out there, you can find your own workshops to do, or you can get involved with me or somebody else that you can partner up with in the team here, that you could go ahead and do a revenue share of different workshops. But it's a real opportunity to make some good money and increase the pace that money's going to come in. Because again, one-to-one's fantastic, but it is a longer process. But you do whatever's right for you. But the reason I'm doing these workshops, again, is so you can experience them. So we did the one-day workshop. The one-day workshop was last Saturday, or the Saturday previous, sorry. This week is the goal setting workshop. The reason I'm doing the goal setting workshop this week is because that's day 2 in a 3-day workshop. We advertise, if you go onto the website, you'll see we advertise a 1-day workshop, which you've already gotten, and we advertise a 3-day workshop. A 3-day workshop primarily consists of everything that we do in the 1-day workshop, where we design and introduce the system to the individuals. The second day of a 3-day workshop is always to do a goal setting workshop, which is what we're going to do this Saturday. It's total immersion. Like it's not a goal setting workshop like we've done in the past, 45 minutes an hour. It's a full day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Primarily. It's a full day, total immersion into all of the goals for the rest of the year. We're going to do short-term, midterm, and long-term goals, but the priority to focus is going to be the second half of 2021. So I highly encourage you guys. You'll get a lot out of it if we get into things in a lot more detail because we have more time, obviously. But I really encourage you, if you can make it, come to it. Be ready, take a lot of notes, set goals for yourself. You'll benefit from it. I can promise you that. You'll definitely promise it. But share it with others as well. If you have any friends, family, colleagues, anybody at all, it's a good opportunity to go ahead and get them involved, no cost, because it'll probably won't be doing this one for a long time. I can promise you that. the timing, the reason I would have even stretched it out probably a little bit longer because we just did the other one a couple weeks ago. Um, but it's just that we're coming into the mid to halfway through the year now. So it's we you know how we always do quarterly reviews. We're halfway through the year. I figure might as well get this one done. Its timing's going to be really good, so everybody will have their goals in place in detail for July 1st. So again, love to see you there. Invite whoever you want. Um, but again, it'll be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So other than that, guys, we're going to wrap it up. A little bit shorter of a session today, but I wanted to allow a little bit of extra time in case at the end of this, you still primarily want to work on what can you add? What can you add to those key areas to achieve the result that you'll be happy with the result, but enjoy the process? Because I'm telling you, that's powerful. When we can learn to do that, that's when life is really worth living. When you're making that daily consistent progress by taking those actions and enjoying every single step of it. That's powerful, guys. So we were wrapping it up a little bit early, about 15 minutes early here. That gives you 15 minutes to continue. Go through it. Use the time wisely. All right. Other than that, I appreciate it. I hope to see as many of you as possible as can make it um, to the session on Saturday. And again, feel free to share it with whoever you like. It's open to whoever. The more, the merrier. So, look, guys, we'll wrap it up there, and we will see you all soon. If you need anything, I'm here for you. All right. All the best.